And welcome in, Gyms and Gymettes, to another exciting edition of No Substitute for Sports. I'm your host, Nick Johnston. This is episode 41. And yes, fantasy football has ruined games for me in the sense that I can't enjoy a barn burner of a game like Sunday night or Monday night. It's just, I don't know. Does that need to change for me in the sake of my sanity? Most definitely. Will it change my behavior, though? Not a chance in hell. That's fantasy football, baby. Thank you, as always, for tuning in to No Substitute for Sports on the Degenerates Network YouTube page. If you're just stumbling upon us, hit that subscribe button only after you hit the like button. Maybe share us around, tell your friends, tell, I don't know, whoever else you want to tell. Like I didn't make a new one for this one. I forgot on that one. Shame on me. That's okay. We'll make you up for it next week. You can always follow us on Twitter at Degenerates. And every Friday, 1 p.m. Central, I go live on twitch.tv/SportsTownShy for No Substitute for Sports live, cleaning up anything we don't get to here, and, well, actually making the jokes that I try to make over there. I'll actually, like I said, have the script ready. Finally, subscribe on YouTube and like the Facebook page for X-Bomb Sports. We go live there as well, talking anything and everything in pro wrestling with co-host David Double D Dykstra, and that is for Bad Karma Wrestling. Once again, Bad Karma Wrestling on X-Bomb Sports. A lot to talk to you about today. Once more, I'll be giving you my take on this quote-unquote QB drama here in Chicago. Mike recaps the Packers in Mile High City, and we both take a gander at the rest of the games from Week 7 in the NFL. Also, a quick glance at some potential names that could be traded. Ooh la la, with the deadline right around the corner next week. After that, join us for some fantasy football talk, recapping our personal fantasy league, but always giving some top performances and maybe a tip or two there. Next, a quick check-in on the MLB postseason. One team has already punched their ticket into the World Series, that being the Rangers, and currently waiting on the Game 7 right around the corner as we're recording, about 15 minutes out. Probably checking on it as we're going along. Finally, reactions to some wrestling news, including Sting's retirement announcement, and TNA is coming back. All that, tons more in between. But before we get underway, let me introduce to you my friend and co-host, the founder and CEO of FatCat_streams, and that's with a Z, Mikey J. Fatcat. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, man. It's a great night. It's beautiful
Oh, it was a
outside.
gorgeous day today. If you didn't know, a random day in October. It was right around 60, 70, 80 degrees mostly the day. Just a little bit windy, but nothing too crazy. It was a beautiful, beautiful day.
It was awesome. So yeah, it was awesome day. I'm ready to get this going per usual, man.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. A little light on the apps today, but we just got to go around, make the rounds. Happy birthdays, a ton of them to go around. It was my dad and my brother's birthday over the weekend, so that was awesome. They one day apart, but a ton of years in between, thank goodness, because that's how being a father of someone is. Either way, that was fun. We enjoyed the day, enjoyed some fantasy points on the Sunday, and then otherwise just chilling. My dad just got to enjoy his birthday like he did. He just wanted everyone to fuck off. I'm just kidding. He enjoyed everything that we did. I'm just joshing around. And if I'm not mistaken, your brother's birthday is right around the corner as well. We'll be chilling around doing some Halloween festivities, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah,
Yes,
I'll
sir. He's
yeah.
gonna have a little party this upcoming weekend. He's excited. It's gonna be awesome.
I mean, he's been having this. He's had this birthday his entire life. How has he been like pretty good responding it, like being basically right around Halloween the entire time?
Yeah, and they my parents always say that he was really close to being born on Halloween, that it was apparently like
Spooky.
10 minutes away from being born on Halloween. So
Mm.
if he was, he would have probably been evil as fuck or something, but
Like Damien from The Omen. Been watching too many movies over the weekend. Either way, happy
but yeah,
birthdays
it's always
all
cool.
around. Yes, yeah. Hell yeah,
Happy
hell yeah.
birthday, man. Happy
Yes.
birthday to your brother and your dad.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. This, like I said, fun day. Like I said, they'll be watching. They already heard me say it. I wrote it on Facebook. We did the whole deal. Either way, happy birthdays all around. Like I said, light on appetizers. Got nothing else to tell the people? Say anything before we get going? I know Gen V was been pretty cool. Other than that, nothing really to check in otherwise on the telly. I mean, it's just been football, a little bit of MLB, and I mean, just today, the NBA is tipping off. So I mean, like I said, anything
Yeah.
else before we get going?
I mean, this is the one time. I mean, there's going to be that time of the year when all four main sports are on. Would be
Yeah, we got a sports
basketball.
equinox coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, basketball, hockey, football, NBA is back. It's so this is awesome. I love the fall. It's happening right now. Love the fall weather. I mean, it's a great time right now,
You'll
man.
either need to bring out one more television for your front room, or you're gonna have to do the split screen for the YouTube TV so we can have all four games on when something
Yeah, we're
like
gonna have
that's
to
going.
start charging you guys
You're
to
gonna have to
come
need
in. We're
everyone's
like
gonna need to see your setup. We're gonna have to need to see your setup.
like a
Uh,
sports book at this point. Like
yeah,
a bar.
you're just missing the little thing around the scores around the thing, like when it goes around the room and shit like that. And just yeah, I'm just missing that. And there's a little bank teller, someone right in that little island in your kitchen thing area. Had someone there turn that into like a little checkout area.
Love it.
Yeah. Either way, I had some fun over the weekend. Got my fucking dick kicked in gambling, but I can let that all pass by because the Bears won another football game. We can get into that. Week 7, all in general. We also got unfortunately gonna talk some Packers. I know that's your job. What do you want to start off with? Did you want me to go ahead and get started with the Bears? Did you want to
Yeah,
talk
you
Packers?
mentioned the Bears first, so you can get into them right away.
Awesome. And then of course, you can always chime in, give your 2 cents, help us out in this again, this quote unquote QB controversy that I'll be tackling right now. Let's get into it. Exactly that. A 30-12 ball game, win off the top of my head, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that, yeah.
Bears did it. They got a win. They got another win. The stats were mediocre. Only about 162 yards passing or something along the lines. You got Tyson Bagent with one passing touchdown. A lot of checkdowns, but he got the job done. Let me see. Just I can rattle off everything that came up in my little push notifications. First, Bears rookie QB to win his first start since 2004, and then a first D2 QB to win a start since 1950. This
Wow.
man has locked in and just is checked his way in to be a backup for the next 5, 10 years at least. I wouldn't be mistaken. And I would leave it at that. I would really leave it at that because, again, a nice win, a good win for the Bears, rightfully so. This Raiders defense is pretty terrible, and led by Brian Hoyer, Aiden O'Connell. Ugh. The very least, Devontae Adams was being thrown too early and often, so I thought he was going to cook. And then he kind of just slowly faded away as the time went by. Josh Jacobs was a non-factor. I don't know what it was. I mean, it's just really just I don't want to say it wasn't the Bears. The Bears won this game. It was also, you can chalk it up to the Raiders just didn't really show up. It was a nice win for the Bears. Again, I don't want to overreact and say Bears are back, Bears are this, Bears are that, Bears playoff run. Nothing like that. And I even want to backtrack on just Tyson Bagent at the very least. Again, nice win. Fields hasn't done that. A first home win in over a year for the Bears. But you also got to look at the fact that Nathan Peterman had to come in for that last second Hail Mary attempt. And I don't know what that game plan was there, but maybe it was the Bears not trusting Tyson Bagent's arm necessarily. So some QB abilities, some attributes right there that aren't necessarily there. So again, the people that are Monday morning quarterbacking and overreacting, saying that Tyson Bagent is the man, that he's Drew Brees, that he's Tom Brady because he's undrafted or late draft. He was undrafted, but a rookie QB coming in and making a move. You got to pump the brakes a little bit. I love the performance. He looked calm and poised. 2 words I haven't been able to describe Justin Fields the entire year, maybe his entire 30 starts. I'm sure there's a couple of games where he was looking good, but hasn't been healthy. And again, I still will go on my statement of once Justin Fields is healthy, whether Bagent has won one or all of these games that he replaces Justin Fields for, Fields needs to be out there as soon as he's healthy to prove that he's the guy, to prove that there's something. The first round pick needs to be out there. It's as simple as that. After the season, we'll be able to find out if Tyson Bagent's the man. Until then, you're still going to end up drafting a quarterback in this round. I mean, I'll throw it up to you really quick, Mike. If the Bears have 1-1, is it crazy if they didn't draft a quarterback?
I'm what this year?
Yeah, if they had 1-1 in the draft. It doesn't matter who it is necessarily. It doesn't need to be, you don't need to name a name, Caleb Williams or Bo Nix, whoever you necessarily think it should be. But do you think they should go quarterback if they have 1-1?
I mean, I feel like Caleb Williams has shown. I mean, and I don't know if he has the past games with the losses, but I mean, it's a tough spot because I
Yeah.
don't know if you want to give up on Fields, but
I don't, like I said, I'm still in the boat of give him the chance as soon as he's healthy. But it would be kind of crazy if somehow Bears fall, what they have their pick or the Panthers pick, and hopefully they continue losing. Uh, if they get 1-1, it would be shocking if the Bears didn't go QB. At least in my mind as of right now. So
just have them
that's
fighting
if
it out.
that's if Fields doesn't somehow miraculously turn it around as soon as he comes back from this injury. So I'm not
So
laying
this
that
is
one out
his
either.
last chance.
Yes, of
This is
course. Yes.
Fields' last chance. If
Yeah.
he doesn't do well at the end of the season or just whenever he comes back, then he's cooked up.
Yeah. That's basically what I'm saying. Yeah,
Unless they
exactly.
keep getting wins with this guy.
Yeah,
But then also,
it doesn't look great by any means that this kid steps in with little to no issue in a win and gets a win right away, and Fields just hasn't done that like in a long time. Like I said, hasn't looked comfortable, hasn't really done anything of note lately. It's a tough look. It's a tough one. Sorry, did I just cut you off on a thought?
no.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, other than that, just Deontay Foreman had a nice game. He joins Walter Payton and Gale Sayers as other Bears, the only other Bears in franchise history to record 2 rushing and 1 receiving touchdown in a game.
Wow.
That's just Deontay Foreman, man.
Yeah.
What a dog. He had a very nice fantasy day. I think like 30 some odd points if you got him in PPR. Um, just yeah, it was a nice day all around. Again, just take a look at the stats. You look at the thing. Please don't overreact. Tyson Bagent is a nice piece to have. It's nice to have a backup quarterback, but and again, that shouldn't be what the Bears standards should be. The Bears standards should be, a star, a star QB that makes game, like he changes the game. And you can insert whatever name you would like to. Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Josh Allen for the most part. Exactly that. So, uh, I mean, exactly that. So again, the middle of the pack, a backup quarterback isn't the standard of what it needs to be. Nice to see, get better. It wasn't a good win. So good win. Just crazy to me that if we're looking forward, if you told me that the Chargers and the Bears were going to have the same amount of wins going into this Sunday night football matchup, I wouldn't believe you at all. But here we are. You got to play the games, and here we are with it. So that'll be
Wow.
interesting. Fields, as of right now, doubtful. They usually trends in the direction of not going to be playing. So most likely going to get Tyson Bagent versus Justin Herbert on Sunday night. Bring it on. That Chargers defense is pretty light. I don't think they'll get a win necessarily, but keep it competitive. That's all we've been saying. That's at the very least, keep it competitive. Any thoughts on the Bears matchup of this past week? Any thoughts in general before you get going on these Packer guys?
Well, they got a good win against Garoppolo-less Raiders. I mean, it's still
Yes.
Brian Hoyer in there, but they still did very well against their defense, who, I
Yeah.
mean, not the best, but Max Crosby really wasn't doing much, which is a guy that gets pressure a lot on the quarterback. So Bears were locking him down, and Bagent had time to get his check downs, and he just was not taking sacks when
Yeah.
Fields does when he was throwing it down to his running back or the check down guy, whoever was closest to him. I mean, that's what you have to do. He seemed poised. He was looking around at his reads, and he was throwing the ball away if he was about to get sacked, he was running with it too. So, I mean, definitely a good game from
Yeah.
him, and he had 70 I saw he had like 60 70 family members in attendance at the game. Like he had his whole
Including his
fucking
dad, a 28-time arm wrestling champ, which pointed out by a Sunday night football broadcaster. I don't know. I don't remember his name. The guy that's not the guy that does the zoom in. I guess you get different championships for each arm. He's got 14 on the right, 14 on the left. Bonkers. Didn't even know you could do that.
So random.
Between if you did a game where if you were a Bears fan, every time they brought up Tyson Bagent's dad's arm wrestling championships, National Tight Ends Day, a Taylor Swift point at, or I don't know, you could throw in something else. If you took a drink every time it was one of those, you'd be hammered. So there you go. That was the game of the week to do that. If the between the tush push or hearing how much Jalen Hurts squats, they say that every time they line up for the tush push. Like, do you know he squats over 600 pounds? Yes, we fucking know. You say that every single time they line up for a tush push, and they get a tush push 8 times a game now for some odd reason. So
look out, brotherly shove incoming.
In Andy's room. Quick final thought on Tyson Bagent. Like I said, hopefully I didn't sound too harsh on it. Like I said, he was making smart plays and was tested a few times, making those second and long, third and long plays, and doing enough with his arm. Maybe check downs, not the longest passes in the world, but doing exactly like he said. He made the smart plays. He got the ball. You get the ball into DJ Moore's hand, he'll go and he'll run. So he'll extend the play. So again, good win everywhere around. It was the Raiders, so I'll leave it at that. So I'm not going to overreact. Good win. That's exactly what you wanted from this Bears squad. So love it. We'll look forward into Sunday Night Football. With that being said, you go on the pack and you go ready to roll. You can talk about some Packer guys.
Yeah. Talk about them.
There you go. Get crack-a-lacking on your cheesers, on your cheeseheads. At least you had Aaron Jones back. You had a couple people come back.
Yeah. This why? We care a lot. Like, fuck you. Oh my God, I hate Russell Wilson so much. As a Packer fan, at least, I always just think back to the Seattle game when they fucking got the onside kick on us and fucked us out of the playoffs. That's out of the fucking Super Bowl, basically. So fuck you, Russell Wilson, even though you had nothing to do with that onside kick, but you were on that team. So fuck you.
Guilty by association.
I was hoping we'd fuck him up today, or that when we played Sunday, and nope. Packers cooked up by this shitty ass Broncos team, and we are officially now one of the shittiest teams in the NFL right now. I mean, we are bad. This offense, even with Aaron Jones back, just couldn't really get anything going. We started to get some stuff in the second half, but it still ultimately leads to interception. And I see a replay of it on Twitter. It's just like AJ Dillon's wide open left side of the field. He could have tossed it to him, got some yards, got us in field goal range maybe, but of course throws it deep and picked off. But it is what it is. You can't watch that shit and think about what ifs. It's just a unfortunate game. I was expecting them to win all week. I thought with Aaron Jones coming back, we had our old lineman back. Eric Stokes just got activated, one of our corners. So I thought that we for sure could lock them up, and just defense did not perform too well, and offense didn't get anything going till late in the game. It was too late. So also, if they made the field goal earlier that the rookie missed, then we would have won the game by 1 point. I think it would have been, but missed a
19-17 final in favor of the Broncos.
So it is what it is. This sucks losing to a team like this because not going to get many chances to get wins. So
I mean, we had the Bears had the Broncos come back on us, so that was a bad, very very sour taste in our mouths. We both know how it feels. In my eyes, I know you probably just comment on this too. Just looked like neither of these teams really wanted to win the game. I don't know. Maybe I guess obviously you might not share that same feeling, but it was a rough one. It was a rough one. Not a lot of passes or not a lot of plays being made on both sides. And my observation, probably one of the luckiest plays ever, just bouncing off
Oh,
Romeo
the
Dobbs's hand
touchdown.
right into
Yeah.
Reed's hand, or it was exactly how they drew it up. I'm not, I can't prove, it either which way. Yeah, that was on some Madden shit right there.
And the Romeo Dobbs one that was basically almost picked off by Sertan, where they were fighting for it in the end zone. It's just like we are fighting for every touchdown we got. And yeah, that last one was so lucky.
And
You
that, of
shouldn't
course,
even
brought up the
got that.
fail Mary, another Seahawks related Russell Wilson and Packers. Oh, brutal. Oh, just digging in even more and more. I didn't even realize how much of a Packer killer Russell Wilson is
No,
up until this very
I
minute.
hate him
Yeah,
so much.
I did not realize he cooked you guys up for a little bit. Yeah. That's
That
a
fucking that Seahawks game with the onside kick. That's like cemented in my brain forever.
oh yeah. I
I
think I
always
still know exactly where I was when that game was going on. That was a tough that was good. That was a good
Yeah,
game.
it's I remember all you guys calling me and being like, "Woo, Packers!" Like they were, or at least Sebastian and a bunch of the homies were
I
calling
don't
me.
remember calling you, but that was
Oh,
I wouldn't put it
they
past it.
called me. I
Oh
remember
my
them
god.
calling me and just being like, "Whoa,
What
onside kick!"
what happened?
Oh my god.
Like
Hor-
6 years before that even
Horrible
got cool.
memories. Horrible memories with that game.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, that's definitely brutal.
So
Uh,
fuck them. And I don't know what to say about the Packers as of right now. I hope that they can play better, but Matt LaFleur's play calling has been not the best, and
yeah,
he's struggling without Aaron Rodgers for sure. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how they progress and change through the season. I obviously hope they get better, but just have to see how it goes.
yeah. And as of right now, overall, as a division, the NFC North is arguably one of the worst. I would have to say the NFC South even has a leg up on the NFC North in terms of just competitiveness and the teams overall being just somewhat watchable.
It's just
Some sort
like
of way.
even the Vikings, like they're better than the Packers. Like they just beat the 49ers last night. It's like
Yeah.
I don't think the Packers could beat the 49ers if they played right now. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, given you would need a lot to go the Packers' way, a lot would have to go the Packers' way
Yeah.
for that to happen. But I mean, any given Sunday, you never throw that out, the window. But yeah, it'd be tough. And I mean, I can't even again can't say that as a Bears fan either. You can't really go up and say anybody is a guaranteed win anywhere. So
Never.
yeah. Uh, yeah, overall, especially like I said, we'll get to it, but the Lions got spanked, and of course, God forbid I have a take and they just dead within a week. But there you have it.
It's been happening with everyone.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't the only person that said the Lions are legit, the Lions are elite, and then sure enough, they're like, oh, the Lions are what? As Lamar Jackson is just spanking them, is the Lions are what? The Lions are what? Sorry about that one. Either way, yeah, that seems to be the way. If you're good on the
Oh,
Packers, I think I am too. We can get into the rest of these games from week 7.
yeah. I think that was the wrong one.
Okay, coolio. Yeah, nothing much there. We can just start from
There we go.
basically one of the more exciting games I got in my notes, or we can just go anywhere you want. But I got Browns and Colts 39-38 final. This one I did not see this one coming in this way. I didn't think, oh, if I'm not mistaken, just shy of 77 points right there total right there. Holy cannoli! Yeah, Deshaun Watson continues to not be worth a single dime. I guess he just threw 5 passes, 1 completion, 2 of them for interceptions. So a brutal day if you had him in fantasy. A controversial ending in there, and I mean, just further notes on this game. Just Miles Garrett went absolutely berserk. Was there anything for you in this game? Again, was there anything?
Yeah, he jumped over the line to block a field goal, right?
Yeah, he did that.
Like
He
he's
got a sack,
insane.
fumble, and then they recovered it for a touchdown. He didn't, but he did that. He had a monster of a day.
He might be the best player on the line right now. Like, he's
He
better than Nick Bosa probably,
he should
and
he
these other players.
besides defensive player of the year, like he definitely early candidate for that. He should probably get a couple of MVP votes. It's not, I guess, it's a tough uphill battle going up against every single quarterback in the league, but
Yeah.
he should at least get a couple. Like this is the way he's just performing is pretty crazy. Like the I don't think the Browns should have a couple of wins that they do without him being there. So
Wow.
definitely worth noting.
Yeah, to be that much of a difference maker in a football team is crazy.
Yeah, just looking around other stats off the top of the dome. Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss had the same amount of snaps. If you were paying attention to stuff like that, Jonathan Taylor having a better day fantasy wise, getting the touchdown, getting a couple more passes if you have him in PPR, but still interesting that they basically split right down the middle. And just any thoughts on the Colts jersey jersey choice? I thought I made note while we were watching. I thought it would look like a cool, St. Louis Battlehawks, almost XFL type alternate jersey in my mind. Other people were dogging on it. A couple other squads brought out their jersey. I think the Kelly Green jerseys came out for the Eagles this week.
Yeah.
Just last week or the week before, the creamsicle Buccaneers jerseys. Yeah. But would you?
What?
I don't like them. But any thoughts on this Colts jerseys?
Yeah, those Indiana night jerseys are cool. I thought. I mean, yeah, I'm a fan of any alternate jerseys. We see the same stuff. They wear the same thing every week, every year. So show us something, wear something different. It's fun.
Show me what you got.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, big win for the Browns. This is gonna be a competitive division as the season goes on, and yeah, try and do what they can to keep up with the Ravens, I suppose. Next game, we got Bills Patriots. Patriots getting a surprising win. Belichick gets his 300th win with a 29-25 victory over the Bills. In exactly that, a crazy fashion. Josh Allen continues to somewhat underperform, turn the ball over. He shows up in some spurts. But I kind of agree with somewhat of these internet takes. It's just he's gonna fly under the radar, and he's still gonna get kind of clapped and applauded for other things. I don't know. It's again, it's not the first time people have kind of questioned his elite status. So I don't know. Another instance like that. It's a tough look losing to the Patriots, especially right now when just last week I was mentioning there's nothing interesting of note on the Patriots. Mac Jones is playing awful. Juju Smith-Schuster's atrocious. I don't know. That was just me. So tough break overall. Any thoughts on this? On the Bills right now? Yeah, anything on that right now?
Yeah, I mean, they don't lose to the Patriots. Fucking, if you want to be one of the best teams and make a run at this, don't lose to the fucking Patriots. Fuck.
Yeah. The Bills score with 2 minutes left on the clock to take the lead, but everybody already knows, and you can say it with me. That's too much time for Mac Jones. That's way too much time for Mac Jones. Everybody knows that. I'm just kidding. That's nobody knows that.
I could not say it with you.
I know. No one knew what I was gonna say. Exactly. Just crazy. If you want to be in the elite squad, you gotta not lose to the Patriots. You just said that exactly that. So, yeah, just crazy. Commanders and Giants. Giants get a 14-7 victory. Saquon is the offense. He goes down. New York is fucked, and he hyperextended his elbow, so something to take note of. I don't think it'll take him out of anything considerably, but
Tyrod Taylor was cooking out there.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor continues to impress. He's one of the better backups. He always someone plays with a chip on his shoulder. Kind of looks good.
Did you see the clip from Colin Coward?
No, I did not.
The guy that he does the show with. I don't know his name.
His producer or something. Just his.
Yeah, he just has like a co-host kind of. They go back and forth. But they were talking about the Giants game, and this guy was talking about Tyrod Taylor, and he was like, "It's good to see that the Giants have this young QB that can get it done." It's like Tyrod Taylor's been in the league for 12 years. I just can't believe it when I see shit like that on these professional shows on TV.
I mean, it's already come up. Like it seems like no one does their research over on the Colin Cowherd channel.
Yeah, I mean,
No
young
one on the
guy.
herd knows what's going on. I mean, clearly you can Exhibit A still showing the well, it's gonna slip my mind. What's Dwayne Haskins
Oh,
throwing that
oh, that
animation up
was
there,
horrible.
and then now, yes, exactly this, just the most recent example, just how they just don't care.
It's like the young guy looked good out there, Colin. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just no seem to be no credibility.
Yeah, you
I do
know.
like that. The when Gallon was right.
Yeah,
That's good.
my
Your
brother.
brother was on that this week. That was good. Oh no, when Colin was right. Well, this is probably where Colin was wrong, and where a lot of other people, including myself, were. Ravens absolutely dominate the Lions at home, 38-6. Cook me on that last second hook of the over under. Thanks, Justin Tucker. Remind me again. You remind me of this moment at any point in time where I go on a limb and try and hype up a team. God forbid I do something like that. The Ravens were beyond impressive, but the Lions they showed like they didn't even show up off the bus. They didn't come off the bus, as the saying
See,
goes.
but again, does this make them not contenders anymore because of the team like the Bills just lost to the Patriots and their people are still going to say that they're one of the best teams in the
Yes.
league. So
Now,
it's
yes, to not maybe fall back on what other people do and they're going to do the same thing. That everyone kind of has these games where they just get ripped apart, and this is a decent one to look at on your track record and be like, "Oh, we got obliterated by the Ravens." Okay, that makes
not the
sense. Like,
worst.
yeah,
Yeah.
like if you got obliterated by the Cowboys, that's not the worst. They're high explosive offense and a defense that just locks you down. If you lost by a big margin to the Cardinals, like that's a problem. If you lost
Yeah.
to, if you somehow lost to the Bears by a lot,
It's
that's a
different if
problem.
a guy like Joshua Dobbs has a career
Yeah,
day against you compared to Lamar Jackson.
yeah.
It's
And I
like
mean,
you can live with that.
if I'm remembering correctly, I mean Lamar Jackson just absolutely dotted them up. They had over 120 yards passing in the first quarter. 20 or excuse me, had 5 20-yard passing plays in the first in the just a couple plays after the first quarter had ended. So a dominating first quarter. Up until that point, the Lions defense had only allowed 10 points in the first quarter. In the first quarter, they allowed 14 in that game, and that was again over 6 other weeks of playing, 6 other weeks of playing. So just a matter of one game, over doubled that in one instance. So again, hopefully I'm making sense on that stat. But yeah, just they had just a bad time. Nothing went their way until maybe the second quarter when there was a fumble and their offense just wasn't clicking. It wasn't really clicking. Nothing was getting done. Jared Goff was just bottled up. It was a tough
Yeah.
go. I think the Ravens lead the league in sacks, if I'm not mistaken. If they're right, unless they're right there, it's like them and the Bills are like neck and neck. But yeah, it was a rough day at the office for Jared Goff. I wouldn't hold it against them. Again, just me kind of still just piggybacking on my other take. So hopefully that looks good. But yeah, that was a tough one. That was a tough one.
Yeah.
On the other
I'm
hand, on
sure.
the other side, if the Ravens play like that, whew, watch out. They can beat anybody. That is insane. Lamar Jackson was slinging the ball to Zay Flowers, and Odell was looking good, and Mark Andrews scored twice, and it does not very often, but Gus Edwards had an 80-yard pass. I don't know how an 80-yard pass
What?
doesn't. Yeah, he had an 80-yard reception, but that didn't go to the house. He went from the 10-yard line to the other 10-yard line. He just got caught up on. Uh, but that was interesting to note. Just a big offensive explosion for a defense that doesn't usually happen for them. I doubt that happens again sometime this year. Uh, it'll be like that. So that was a good game, or not good for that, but just interesting to note.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So again, Ravens elite now for sure. Falcon. If we're moving on, we got the Bucks and the Falcons. Falcons getting a road win, 16-13 on a last-second Young Hoku field goal. Desmond Ritter's first road victory My only take on this,
His first,
yes, his first road victory in
like,
the
just in
NFL.
general,
No,
that's
I think in the NFL.
that's fucked up. How is he never? He hasn't won on the road,
Hasn't won on the
so
road.
he only win. So he's only would win at home and would lose on the road every time.
You got it. You got that right.
Wow.
Yep, that's been Desmond Ritter. Uh, my take on this, only the game was, it was a divisional matchup. This might be, important for that, in that sense of like coming down to the wire, who's going to get the divisional win, who's going to get that playoff spot. One of these teams has to go to the playoffs. Uh, but my focus was on the Bijan Robinson news, or the lack thereof. This has to be public. Like, this needs to
Yeah.
come out right away. And I don't have him in any fantasy leagues, and I didn't take him in any gambling. Uh, but finding out this information just after halftime, that he wasn't feeling good, that he had a headache, he wasn't feeling good all weekend. Too much money goes into these fantasy games, goes into gambling, goes into just everything for making this world go round, for that information not to be shared. And I don't know, Adam Schefter's got his head up everyone's ass. How does he not share something like that? I'm not blaming him, but how does someone in the media not being able to share that information? It's crazy. And again,
Yeah,
you
with
might,
all the news that they share all the time. I mean, how would someone not know?
yeah. And I know if you're watching this, you probably have your toe dipped into fantasy or gambling or both. But even if you're not, you need to start recognizing that it is important. Like, this is definitely a huge factor into making a bunch of decisions. So this is a big, in my mind, like I said, shame on the media for not having this information ready to go. I don't care if it's a small little price, I guess. The Falcons did end up winning anyways, but it's crazy that something like that isn't shared. Basically, everyone I know that has him, or I played against them, played Bijan Robinson, because there was no prior knowledge to him being out up until they just gatekeeped it until the last second. Like I said, I know the players and the coaches don't give a fuck about your fantasy team, but there's too much money goes into too much shit right now for that information not to be shared. So if you had Bijan Robinson props, if you had him in fantasy, I feel for you. That absolutely sucks. And that should not be happening to anybody in any sort of situation. So clean it up, media. Fucking have that information out. That's just, it's as simple as that. I don't know. That's, hopefully you have the same take as me on that. I don't know. Yeah, you kind of.
Yeah, I mean, that's effed up because people could have lost a lot of money, is what I think about. I mean, you could bet on his over and then it's going to go through because he
Yeah,
played a snap. And that's how
exactly.
if you don't gamble, that's how it works. As long as they play one snap, then the bet counts. But if they don't play at all, then it gets voided and you get your money back.
Yeah.
But he played technically, so the bets all go through. So if people bet on his overs or anything like him to score a touchdown, anything like that, you'll lose
Yeah.
because he played,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
he
And to
did
my
not.
knowledge, no major sports books gave any refunds this weekend for any Bijan Robinson props. So,
The NFL is actually investigating the Falcons right now for
oh,
this.
really? For not
Yeah,
sharing that?
yeah.
I mean, like I
Because
said, it's,
that's what I think about. Someone within the organization could have bet on, you bet on an under or something, or you just do some shit. He's not gonna play at all, and then you win a bunch of money, and you're cooking. It's just I mean,
there's too much now for that information not being able to be shared. And I don't see how that would go against your game plan. Like, Bijan's not going to play. If you announce that an hour and a half beforehand, I mean, what can you do? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
again, just like you were saying, like Ian Rappaport, Am Scheffner, all of these guys within Twitter and that tweet all this shit about football all the time. Like no one's like Bijan Robinson not feeling well, or
Yeah.
like there's just
It's unethical for
nothing.
that not
Yeah.
to be out there in the world, for people not to know that. Like,
I see
again,
them tweeting shit at 1 a.m. about, like, I saw them tweeting Tom Pelissero tweeting about Aaron Jones at like fucking 2 in the morning. He will play tomorrow. Like they like they know stuff all the time.
exactly. Like, it's absolutely crazy. I don't get it. That's just the name of the game. And like I said, hopefully something does crack down and get on the Falcons, because that's bonkers. Nothing should hold up against that. Moving on, we got a couple more games to get to, and like a little bit of trade deadline talk. I don't want to leave out on anything on that. And if I'm not mistaken, about 20 minutes ago, first pitch happened. We can check in on that game as well. But Steelers get a road victory, which was kind of a home victory. 20 a lot of terrible towels in the audience. Steelers get the victory 24-17. Impressive road win, like I said. Fan base kind of made the move. Ref ball towards the end. I heard something like that. This wasn't a game that was showed up too much on the red zone, so we couldn't really get that. Some headlines off the field were Blueface the rapper just throwing a bunch of paper on the hose. Hopefully that's not what was happening, but it seemed to be that's just what was going popular on Twitter. Did you see that going around?
Yeah, I saw that. He was just throwing money everywhere.
LA,
He did
baby.
not care about the kids or anything.
That's LA for you. Yeah, that was basically the thing off the field. Puka Nacua had a good game while Cooper Kupp did not. I guess that was also what some are saying.
Wow.
It'll flip flop, but I wouldn't doubt that, both these guys are going to have good games all the time, most of the time. Tough one, I'm sure, for the Rams. They'll most likely bounce back. Like I said, they're a little bit better than I thought they were this year.
Yeah.
Cardinals, Seahawks get a 20-10 victory. Nothing too crazy here. Run of the mill. Seahawks just get the job done, and get it done without their number one wide receiver in DK Metcalf. So I guess good in the sense that he'll probably have they didn't have to worry about that. Get some rest out of him. A little bit of a downer from a guy like Tyler Lockett, but able to rely on Kenneth Walker and their rookie Jackson Smith Njigba. Hopefully, Njigba. Yeah. So hopefully that's how you say it.
He scored a touchdown, right?
Yes, he did. So nice little game for him. Like I said, in lieu of DK Metcalf sitting out. Anything on that game?
I didn't really see too much of it, but
yeah, it wasn't very much on the red zone too much.
Good on those Seahawks, man.
Yeah, just like I said, just one of the games where they kind of needed to win that, especially in division matchup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of division matchups, he had the Chiefs and the Chargers. Chiefs get the win 31-17. Fuck Taylor Swift story. We're no longer acknowledging that. I'm not saying it angrily, but just in the sense that I guess it's an attempt to get the female demo. We can see right through it. We know what the NFL is doing, so I'll tip my cap in my way for the NFL trying to do that. But it's taking away all the focus on the idea that Travis Kelce's just going absolutely bonkers on the field. I mean, it's without a doubt that he's the man right now, without a doubt. I mean, again, all the off season, all the off the field talk. He's dating this, he's doing that. He's got the commercials going for him as well. But let me just really quickly pull up what his stat line was. I mean, he is an absolute maniac. 12 receptions, 179 yards, and scoring a touchdown on National Tight Ends Day. And all that is going to get, underwhelmed by the fact, it's Taylor's way. Just, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm not going to make jokes
insane.
on it. I'm not even going to get upset about it anymore. If she's on the television, I'm just not going to say anything. It's not worth fighting anymore. She's there. Good for her. I wish for the best in that relationship. But again, if you're focused on that, you're focused on the wrong thing, because this guy is going fucking berserk. Any thoughts on this game in general?
That's a great point. He's doing so well. That stat line is crazy. And yeah, Chiefs get the job done pretty easily in this one. And we got to see Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes handshake during the game. So
yeah, at the very least, the internet wins. We get memes out of it and stuff like that. I won't take that away. I just also thought it was interesting. It was 24-17 at half, and it was 24-17 going into the last minutes of the fourth quarter. Only with that last 3 minutes left, Isaiah Pacheco gets that touchdown to make it 31-17. So
So only one touchdown the second half.
yeah. So if you had that over, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think you hit it 48. It was right around.
You're
It was
that
48 and
skeleton.
a half, and it was 48. Oh,
Yeah, you're that skeleton in the chair underwater right now. That meme.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, that's a tough one for sure. Let me see. Wrapping it up with the Sunday night with the primetime games. We got the Eagles and the Dolphins. This is one of the games where I couldn't enjoy because, for fantasy purposes, had a couple people going on my opponent's side, and just like I said, but that's my own mental illness that I have to deal with. The Dolphins just continue to fold every time they play a team that's worth a shit. I get it. They have defense. They might have some defensive issues. I think that's clearly where the issues lie because their offense works. Tyreek
Yeah.
Hill and Jalen Waddle on a broken back. It looks like he continues to perform, and it might just be the Chase Claypool effect. They gets activated and they lose and they
I
woo.
already saw a clip of him not trying in the game, yes, against the Eagles.
Color me shocked.
he was running across and he was supposed to block someone and he just ran right past him.
Vending machines don't block. They serve candy. That's all they do.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. I'm over here.
That was your fault.
You hit the inside. That's a touchdown.
You go inside, touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. I'll pull back on my thought that the Eagles aren't quote unquote dominating teams in the sense that they're not running up the score and scoring 40, 50 points every time. They are dominating in the sense that they get the ball and they hold on to it for 10-minute, 11, 12-minute drives. Like they had the ball the entire fourth quarter. You mess up one time, and with that Eagles defense, it's more than likely that you're going to go 3 and out. So if you're down late, you go 3 and out, you more than likely know, damn, I'm only going to get the ball maybe one more time, and I have to pray that they don't score on all these tush pushes. So the Eagles are dominating in the sense that they get the ball, time of possession, they just stranglehold you. You get the ball back, and their defense is like, okay, sack, almost a pick interception, something like that. I'll pull back my comments that they aren't dominating. They aren't dominating again in the sense that they're scoring 50. They're just getting you in there and they're just giving you a headlock. You are. So yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Yeah. Any final thoughts on that game?
I mean, yeah, Nick Sirianni said it's a 1st and 9 for the Eagles every drive because they can get they can get that yard with the tush push, no problem. So
where's my camera? Where's my camera? If they could do it, anybody would do it. Whatever he said, that was a good one.
It's just they run it, pass it down your throat, and they take their time with it, and they win games. And at this point, I don't care how many points they win by. Winning is winning, and
yeah,
they're still they're one of the best teams in the NFC for sure. So
another 125-yard game for AJ Brown. Holding Tyreek Hill to 88 yards is an absolute win in this day and age. So
yeah, because that's the thing is that if it is a close game, and then when they do have to turn it up, they have guys like Jalen Hurts and DeAndre Swift and.
Oh, I mean, opponents' running games are completely non-existent against the Eagles. They shut that down completely. Raheem Mostert had no chance. Jeff Wilson Jr. he couldn't really get anything going either. It was just all passing. So I mean, you're gonna give up stuff to Tyreek Hill, who's just burning everybody. So I mean, that's bound to happen. But not every team has Tyreek Hill. Actually, only one team in the NFL has Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
that
with
being the
his
Dolphins.
kind of speed.
Yeah, exactly. So, not many other times are you going to see that. It's a good win, huge win for the Eagles, excuse me. And again, throws up the idea of, you look at the Dolphins and what they've done, and every time they run into a big time team, they get steamrolled, and they can take care of the Broncos, beating them 70-20. They can beat the Patriots somewhat, and then, get their ass handed to them by the Eagles and the Bills. So it's definitely something to consider. It's definitely something to look at. if you're good on that, we got one final ball game to look at. That was the Monday night game. That was the Vikings getting the big win at home, 22-17.
Top 10,
Uh,
Kurt. That fucking chain that they gave him after the game. He's playing very well right now,
oh,
man.
without a doubt. Would you are it, Kirk Cousins on the 49ers? Do they just win everything? I mean, is that
Yeah.
I heard that earlier today, just as a hypothetical. I'm like, wow, that would be absolutely bonkers. And that was actually on the table up until the Vikings locked him in long time. But we'll get to some of the trade potential people, but Kirk Cousins has already said the Vikings are not going to move Kirk Cousins. Devontae Adams not getting moved, so I'm banking on a very dull trade deadline as we get to there. But
Yeah.
again, we'll get to it. But impressive for sure by the Vikings. A couple bounces of the ball the other way. Maybe McCaffrey doesn't fumble. The 49ers can go get something if Purdy doesn't throw 2 interceptions. Maybe something else can happen, but that can't change that. That's living in the ifs and buts, candies and nuts, fucking Merry Christmas land. You can't do that. I'm still not impressed by any means. I'm by the Vikings. Sometimes a big home victory like that with a couple of banged up people on the 49ers. I wouldn't entirely throw it to the Vikings side, but they made some big plays. The Kirk Cousins is playing out of his mind without his number one wide receiver, so rightfully so. Jordan Addison, big plays by Jordan Addison. Again, like that breakaway touchdown at the end of the second half or end of the first half, like it's a 50-50 play. Like you can't guarantee that that's going to happen every single time. So
Yeah.
impressive. So good that did happen for the Vikings. Tough break for the 49ers. Didn't think that the 49ers would be on any sort of losing streak at all throughout this year, but here we are, dropped 2 in a row. Still without Debo, most likely out without him next week, and then they get the bye week. Somewhat, they're going to need that, especially for wanting to get him involved. Brandon Ayuk was somewhat got involved, but kind of faded towards the end. And I don't know. I guess I don't know. Purdy just couldn't find the right spots with Kittle, but Kittle made some big plays, so that was good. Then of course, McCaffrey had a decent day, but on the ground, 15 attempts, only having 45 yards. That's not CMC like. He's still scoring 2 touchdowns that helped him fantasy wise, but yardage wise, that was pretty good by the Vikings to hold them to what they did. Yeah, I'm kind of just going off, but either way, like this, I'm still not completely sold on the Vikings. This is just weird.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. And I'm
they've had
not
a rough
completely out
start.
on Purdy either. So I don't know. Give him back his weapons. I'm sure he plays well. I threw it up in our group chat just as a joke, like, Purdy's done. Sam Darnold QB1, but I don't know if he continues this streak of, just looking bad and making these mental errors, continuing to turn the ball over. That's kind of when you start throwing up the question, but they're kind of locked in with Purdy right now. So I think that might be the way. So any other final thoughts on this game?
I would just did not expect the Vikings to win. So props to them, man. They beat a very good team in the 49ers.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is going to be nut crunching time. And from my understanding, for the 49ers, that came out in an article, there's not a lot of those, gritty type games, those low end games where the Niners are going to get beatable opponents. So they're going to get a tougher schedule coming up soon. So they're going to need to shape up. You need to shape up and start looking like the playoff team, like everyone thinks they're supposed to be. Yeah, that seemed to be week 7. We can get to quickly some news around the league, and then some names considering for trade deadline talk. How's that sound?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Awesome. So quickly, Chris Olave arrested Monday, going 35 over, going 70 in a 35 mile per hour zone. Of course, basically name dropping himself, like, "Hey man, I play for the Saints." And I love the cop. Exactly. So you're going double the speed limit. That's common practice everywhere. So you're going double the speed limit. If I'm not mistaken, that's a felony. They could tow your car. They arrested you. And sure enough, that's exactly what they did. Whether you're playing wide receiver for the Saints or not. I don't think it affects him in the way that he's not going to play. He's just going to get a slap on the wrist, probably do some community service type bullshit, and he'll get what he deserves. But shame on you. Shouldn't be doing that. We were talking about this off air. He hits somebody or anything, he can fuck himself up or fuck somebody else up. So yeah, just hopefully just lesson learned with the long way of saying that. I hope. Any thoughts
Yeah.
on this?
Yeah. Yeah. I had him in fantasy. I have him in fantasy. So when I saw that, I was, oh no, right away. But yeah, I mean, it's that kind of speeding. It's just, I don't know. In that kind of, 35 going 70, that seems ridiculous.
Yeah, that's almost residential to areas. Obviously, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. Get the full details. You can probably break it down and know probably exactly where he was. But yeah, again, a double the speed limit anywhere. I know you can do like you can do 20, you can do 40 and a 20 maybe if you got the right you got the cool cop. But going highway speed on in a most likely a residential area, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to fly anywhere. I don't care who you are. So yeah, exactly that. Like I said, the long way of saying hopefully he learned his lesson. Either way, on to some trade talk. Had Kevin Byard go to the Eagles for a can of tomato soup, basically. I believe it was a safety formerly on the from the Steelers, and then like a 5th-round pick or something like that. Everyone just saying that the Eagles general manager continues to just steal from everybody, and rightfully so. Kevin Byard on the latter end of his career, but a big veteran presence that's on a already dominant Eagles defense. Solid move. Any thoughts on this one?
Why are the Titans picking up the phone for them, man? They got trade them AJ Brown, and now like why? Don't answer them. What are you
Yeah.
doing, man?
I didn't even put two and two together like that. Yeah, you're right. AJ Brown
AJ
was
Brown has more receiving yards than all Titan receivers combined.
holy shit. And then now another former Titan, unrelated, but of course, Julio Jones joining the Eagles. Now it's just former Titans or whatever. Yeah, that seems to be what the Eagles are. Just a bunch of Titans and a bunch of Georgia Bulldogs. So yeah, I mean, good for him. Good on him. That'll be a good move. That's kind of good transition into a couple of names to consider. We don't need to sit here and predict where they go necessarily, but we can kind of just run through this list of who you might think actually might get moved. So I have it right here, courtesy of CBS Sports article. Let me see. I can just give some props to who I'm reading off of. And like I said, if you like it, you can follow them or maybe just bag on them on Twitter if you think this is absolutely insane. So by Cody Benjamin, this is from just a day ago at 8:30 a.m. Like I said, he more or less predicted who should go where, what team should looking for what. But again, rattle off a bunch of names, 24 names, notable veterans of who he thinks should be moving. He had Kirk Cousins. We already talked about it. Most likely not going to get moved. Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, Marquise Brown, Jerry Jeudy, and Cortland Sutton. And I'll throw in Darnell Mooney as his first chunk of names to consider. I wouldn't doubt that if one Broncos wide receiver should probably get moved, if not both. We'll have to see how healthy Marquise Brown is. He's been a little banged up as of late. Same thing with Jerry Jeudy, but I wouldn't. Derrick Henry going somewhere wouldn't be out of the equation. Maybe he goes to the Bills, like the rumor was out there. But I think the Bills need some O-line help, if I'm not mistaken. Just maybe like I said, rattle off a bunch of those names right there. Anything sticking out right there?
If Derrick Henry gets traded, that would be really cool. It'd be nice.
That would be the kicker for sure. And that would indicate for sure that the Titans are just completely done. Completely done. So especially with Ryan Tannehill going down this week. I don't know who they're playing. Are they gonna go with Malik Willis or are they going with Levi?
I'm not sure which one they're gonna start.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a win either which way. It's a tough ask. Let me see going down the line, and I'll just comment on being the Bears guy. Darnell Mooney, it depends on what the Bears want to do. I mean, it's not completely out of the equation. We saw from last year, polls is willing to move pieces and doesn't mind if the Bears do well or if they shit the bed. So not completely out of the equation that Darnell Mooney gets moved on a contract year. I'm not a fan of it. I would love if Jalen Johnson re-signs with the Bears, but if the price is right, like this article is indicating, he says the second round pick for Jalen Johnson. Hard to say no for a second round pick, but again, I like Jalen Johnson, so I hope he stays with the Bears. Other names: Adam Thielen, Hunter Renfrow, Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz actually just went on the IR today, so won't be getting moved. He'll be out the next 4 weeks. Trent Brown, Brian Burns, Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter would be an interesting name again. With the Vikings winning last night, I don't know if they're going to be sellers in any sort of way. They're probably going to flip it and try and make some moves, win this division. They probably saw the loss last night from the Lions, and they're probably like, okay, we can still swing at the king and get something done. They probably didn't say it in that regard, but just to make a comparison. I think they might convince themselves, the Vikings might convince themselves that they're somewhat in it. Here's 2 other names I see been going around: Commanders defensive ends Montez Sweat and Chase Young. Get Chase Young to the Bears. A couple other names to finish out this list: Carl Lawson from the Jets. I think he'll probably end up staying. I think the Jets keep their squad intact. Leonard Williams. Oh, speaking of the Jets, did you see? Didn't set a timetable, but said, I think Aaron Rodgers basically broke the news that he's more or less going to try and come back this year, depending on how the Jets are looking. Yeah, so I know. Yeah, I figured I could get your insight on that. So there you go.
Yeah, that's if he does come back this season, that'll be wild. Hell of a recovery.
Yeah, that would just be crazy for medicine in general. Yeah. The only other name I see from this list would be, again, Harrison Smith from the Vikings. But just like I just mentioned, if the Vikings convince themselves that they're in the running after that win last night, probably not going to be making moves like that. Those were just veteran names. They talked about Mike Evans early in this year. Maybe he gets moved. Even that same breath, Chase Godwin, or God damn it, Chris Godwin. I do that every single time. I don't know why. Chris Godwin, maybe getting the move because the Buccaneers have lost 2 in a row now. They're not looking too great, but again, in that division, not completely out of it. Any name off the top of your head maybe would get moved? Do you maybe want to see a guy on the Packers? I don't know. Who are you thinking?
I mean, I know as a Packer fan, they never do shit. So I know that we won't do anything. But yeah, the one thing that stuck out to me would be Derrick Henry, because the Titans are trash. It would be cool if he actually got traded to a good team like the Bills. That would be wild.
I'm trying to also think, is there any other the Ravens? I know they got Gus the Bus, and Justice Hill.
That'd be
but
nasty,
I mean, having a real give him 20 touches guy on that squad, I think that would be a rightful place for Derrick Henry. Yeah.
I did see a report today too that the Titans have Hopkins and Henry are on the trade market right now. They're the first ones. So
yeah, Hopkins too. He can make a nice little addition to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't want to keep. If you actually trade him to a good team with a good quarterback, he's gonna cook.
Yes, absolutely. When I saw, and I was like, yeah, as a Rashard White owner, I'm like, Derrick Henry to the Bucks. I'm like, I hope not. I really hope not. I hope they trust in Rashard White, or just the sense that they might be sellers too. Or they might be on the outside looking in. But again, like hopefully Derrick Henry don't go there.
I doubt that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I mean, it's on the table. That's definitely the name to keep watch of. It'd be a sad day, King Henry leaving the Titans, but it'd be big for him. That would be the move. Anything else wrapping up on some trade talk before we get into our fantasy? We got a couple other final sports things to get into.
I think I'm good.
For sure. Let me quickly check in on this on this game 7
Oh
We're
yeah.
in the middle of the third, tied 1-1. Let's see. Walker grounded into a fielder's choice. Carroll scored, and Moreno was out. That happened in the first, and boom, a solo shot in the second that tied it up and probably got those fans up on their feet in Philadelphia. So there you have it. Currently tied 1-1 going to the bottom of the third. If you're good on that, we can quickly talk about some fantasy recap from last week and a little bit of preview into next week, and then we get to the rest of our lineup. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Coolio. Do you want to go first recapping
Oh,
your matchup, or did you want me to go ahead and recap me and AJ?
you can hit you and AJ. I gotta get this app all ready to go.
Gotcha. I got my matchup right in front of me. So a little bit of a sweat going into Monday night down. I was down 11 points, but I was able to get the win and take first place. Take first place once again. 151-141 final against AJ. Lamar Jackson just had a crazy day for AJ, just short of 40 points. Scored a touchdown with Saquon. And then also looking around, Sam Laporta had a decent little day. Dolphins defense scored on Sunday night as well. That's why I was just sweating. He has Swift, Devonta Smith, and the Dolphins going all on Sunday night, allowing him to get the lead. But Christian McCaffrey, I just needed a couple out of him, and sure enough, he scores 2 touchdowns. So I know I do what I do in the group chat. I know you can dog on it, joke on it. I do it just to try and reverse jinx myself. That's just the way I roll. I know it was literally I said what I said about like Christian McCaffrey ain't scoring six more points, and then probably like legit 10 more minutes after that he got his longest his longest receiving touchdown of his career. So that was cool. Yeah. That's just how it'd be. And it was back and forth. I got a little bit of a lead on Thursday with Etienne Jr. And then like I said, he gets the lead going after the Sunday night game. So it was a fun one, back and forth. Just a consistent 20 points, 15 from a lot of guys on my squad. And like I said, a big game from Lamar Jackson, from AJ, and a couple other people on his team. Just another important win. It's another important win. I see it. So 151-141 over a solid squad right there. So any thoughts right there on myself and AJ's game?
Yeah, it was a pretty close one in the end, a 10-point difference, but you were able to get the W, man. Good on you.
Yeah. I just also looked at the optimized lineup. I could have made a couple other things that would have bumped me up a little bit, but to like 164 to 145 in favor of me. So just glad my guys were able to get it done. Shout out to Mark Andrews, 2 touchdowns on National Tight Ends Day. If you're good on that, we can go ahead and go to your game between you and the Cocaine Cowboy, Stinky Pete, excuse me. He's also sticky.
Yeah. Well, Pete beats me 166, 135. I'm 2-5 now. Pete's 4-3. I'm horrible.
Oh,
I think I thought that my team was bouncing back, but I just get cooked. Of course, this is a year where I'm gonna have the most points scored against out of anyone, which is happening currently halfway through the season. I have most points scored against me, so of course, Pete cooks me up. Jalen Hurts gets a bunch. Jahmyr Gibbs scores a shitload. Jordan Addison scores a bunch, and Darren Waller has a huge game. So, yeah, my players I didn't just weren't up to par. Austin Eckler's been horrible, and
he might still be recovering from that ankle. From what I have to read up on him as well because I have him in another league. So, yeah, that's just something to pay attention to.
yeah. So he's been bad. He's been horrible. Had drafted him as my 3rd overall pick, and he's done nothing for me all year. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. GG to you, Pete. Guess I'm taking the bus.
That goddamn bus. Bring your bus pass. If it's any sort of condolence, y'all between you and Ivan made much better wide receiver decisions in the 3rd round. I could have had, instead of Garrett Wilson. No, never mind. I think I'm mixing myself up. You had Stephon Diggs coming around. in the second round. Never mind. I scratched that. Either way, that I think I still took Amon St. Brown over those two, but he's still fighting too. Either way, Garrett Wilson, not the best decision for my mind. Uh, yeah, just you still got some players. You got to fight. If you're good on that, we can focus on Alan and Sebastian, or do we want to go on Dom and Ivan?
You could pick whoever.
All right, I left off on Dom and Ivan, so we'll just go with that. 159 to 111 victory in favor of Dom and the Dominators. Just getting a solid connection from Patrick Mahomes, having 41 on the day. I think he had well over 400 yards passing, three touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. He had 424, 4 touchdowns, an interception, but that does not matter when you have 40 points in the day. Mike Evans had a long touchdown. Christian Kirk had a decent Thursday night. And then Hawkinson, I believe Hawkinson had his most yards ever in his career, if I'm not mistaken. 92. Yeah, that makes, or excuse me, 86 yards. So a good day if you had him in PPR like our league did. He had 19. Flipping it on over to Ivan. Fighting Ramondre Stevenson, James Cook, and AJ Brown. Already mentioned about when we went over the Eagles game. 5th straight game with 125 yards receiving. An absolute dog. Besides that, it was a bummer. You got the Lions defense. You think you're going to actually show up just because they have been, and they give them -3. So in the long run, still losing by 50 doesn't really matter there. But yeah, I guess on the flip side, you guys got Jonathan Taylor. You can probably start relying on. So we'll see how that goes. Any final comment there before we focus on the last game?
No, good one for Dom.
Yeah, he's fighting. Finally, we have Allen and Sebastian, 162 to 89 on this ball game. Just man, this Sebastian was our person who had to deal with Bijan Robinson not playing again. The news with that broke. That was awful. Allen informed us because he was chilling with us after the Sunday once the afternoon games had cleared. Sebastian only had 45 points, so that's a tough break. I wouldn't even, I don't think I would get up. I think I would just go right back to bed at whatever time if I saw my team at 45 points. So bigger man than me on that one, Sebastian. Like I said, I would have just turned my phone off, shut the curtains, and just pretended this day didn't happen. I mean, again, it probably wouldn't have mattered too much. Allen did have 162. Puka Nacua had 24. Travis Kelce, like I mentioned, had 36. And then Deonta Foreman 33. So that was a big days for a couple of key guys right there. It wasn't until the Sunday night game that some big points were able to come on the board for Sebastian, make it a little bit respectable. Tyreek Hill had 25 and Dallas Goedert had 18. And that was really that. The Chiefs had 12 points as well. So final thoughts on Stork Boy and Sebastian in their game right there.
It's just Sebastian's team sadly didn't have a chance this week. So I mean, just unfortunate there. That's just
the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. It's a tough break. It's a tough one for sure. If you're good on that, we can preview for week 8. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Awesome, possum. Awesome. Well, I'll just quickly go through me and Dom on it right now. Waiver wires need to be made. I'm sure a couple of starting lineups spots need to be flipped. They got Darrell Henderson projected 0. I think he's probably going to be the starter. So again, I guess a projection schmerschmection, but I'm not entirely sure what the Rams offense is looking like this week. I got a couple of tougher matchups according to when you're looking at the green and the red and the dark just to look for matchups, but relying on a few people. I don't think I'm getting Debo again. I don't think I'm getting Debo back this week, so gonna need a guy like Garrett Wilson to step up. Hopefully Monroe St. Brown has a nice little Monday night game. And Yeah, I wish I could counter it like I have been these past couple weeks, but I do not have. Oh no, I got Isaiah Pacheco. Hopefully, if Patrick Mahomes does any throwing touchdowns, he throws it to Isaiah Pacheco. But I'm sure with on the flip side, looking at Dom's squad, Patrick Mahomes is probably going to dot up the Denver defense. Let's see. The Pittsburgh defense not looking too well, so Christian Kirk might have a nice little day. And uh yeah, it's not too not the craziest to go out on a limb and say that the Colts might not be up to par, and Michael Thomas could have a good game as well. So either way, I'll try and counter it as the best as I can with the guys that I have, and we'll look for another win. So, anything to get to on my game between me and Dom?
Um, Dom's made some pickups with his team. We'll see what happens with the waivers and everything after this past after today basically. But yeah, Dom's also getting a lot of people back from his bye weeks. So
Yeah,
that'll
that's
help.
right.
But
Yeah, a ton of bye week people last week. So yeah,
and
he'll be making some changes, I'm sure. So I'm not set in stone on who exactly I'm going to be, unless he's doing some mind games like usual. I'm not exactly going to see how this lineup's going to look for a day or two. So we'll see on that. You what?
it'll be a battle.
I'm watching you, Tom. I'm watching you.
And yeah, add someone in who's projected 0 points.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's if you're good on that, you can go ahead and flip on over to your game between you and the Gator, you and Alan. Oh, excuse me. No, that's AJ, other Gator. Bobby's not gonna like that one.
Yeah, wow. So
Wow.
I guess he's the Gator.
When I just see the word Alan, that's just what happens. I don't recognize. It's just how it is. I'm sure everyone's like that. AJ, I don't recognize you as Alan. Sorry, it's just how it be. You're AJ. Sorry, you're AJ.
Me and AJ.
You and AJ hit it.
I'm fucked.
Dying over here.
I'm fucked.
No, come on.
Larry. Is that what you want to hear? I have Josh Allen. And
No.
he's got Lamar Jackson. I will say I like my matchups this week, but he's got very good matchups with his players too. So I mean, I feel like this will be a fight. Again, I have a good team, but it's just I can't score more than the people I'm playing against. So hopefully my team, Josh Allen, Kamara, Eckler, Stephon Diggs, and Jacoby Myers, Kittle, DK, hopefully he's back. Hopefully my team can cook it up and get me some points and a win, man. AJ's got a great team with Lamar Jackson, Saquon, and Swifty, Adams, and Smith, Laporta, Chris Godwin. I mean, Derrick Henry, I'm sure will be off his bench now for this week. So he's got a great
Unless
squad.
he gets traded in real life. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Maybe that might rock the boat.
I just played AJ 2 weeks ago, I feel like.
Yeah, no, this is the time we played everybody once.
Yeah,
already,
I just played him in week 6.
Yeah,
and now it's already and I'm already back to him.
Yeah, I think I played Dom week 3 or 4, I think, something like that. So I haven't really looked. I don't,
because it's random. It's all random because I played you like week 2, and now I'm playing you week 9, I think.
Oh, if that's the case, you get a dub because I have everybody on a bye that week. Legit, everybody's on a bye that week.
And I played Dom week 1, so it's not like
no, it won't go reverse back order.
Okay,
there's no way. It couldn't logically do that.
So it's just like, of course, I'm playing AJ and like basically like almost back to back week, like within 3 weeks, I'm playing AJ twice.
It's a tough ask, but I mean,
hopefully he doesn't cook me up again.
I don't need to be the one that tells you that Alvin Kamara, just based on his past receptions, like he's a must start. And if you're gonna play Eckler anytime, this is the bounce back week. He's playing Chicago, primetime game. Hopefully, give a couple more hours to hopefully that ankle's all ready to roll. But
and the Bills are playing Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
too,
and then you get the hook between Josh Allen and Diggs on a Thursday night against the Bills, against the Bucks at home. I mean, you got some favorable matchups, like you said, for this week. On the flip side, I mean, Lamar Jackson gets Arizona.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then Philly playing Washington, and I don't know.
Yeah, Philly's playing Washington. That's gonna be a tough one. And then, I mean, Justin Tucker again. Having Justin Tucker, that's nice.
Yeah.
uh,
Scored
that's gonna.
fucking 18 points against me 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's brutal. That's absolutely brutal. Uh, it'll be close. It'll be a fight. Be a fight. Any other final thoughts on that game?
Good luck,
Good
AJ.
luck,
Fight.
everybody. Everybody needs to fight.
Just fight.
Uh, I'm looking at Sebastian and Ivan just because I was wondering, like, wow, how is Ivan missing a person? Because I believe his kicker, Brett Maher, got cut today by the Rams. So I guess we can kind of I guess somewhat of a transition into that game. Sebastian and Ivan. uh, let's take a quick peek. Sebastian having the hook once more between Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen. Again, favorable matchup playing Chicago on a Sunday night. That'll be fun to watch as Bears fans if we figure out what Tyson Bagent is exactly, what the Bears are the rest of the way out. And honestly, who the Chargers are, because they have not been looking all too well. Josh Jacobs needs to have a little bit of a bounce back, but a tough matchup going up against the Detroit Lions, who overall they're looking to bounce back as a squad. And again, Bijan Robinson, he's probably going to get the go. It would be crazy to think that this sickness
Yeah, I don't think
lingers
his
into next week.
headache is still bothering him.
Yeah, either way, yeah. And then you still got Tyreek Hill. You're looking all right, champ. And then let's see. Yeah, got Jonathan Taylor in the lineup, like I made mention to, is Ivan rolling with AJ Brown. I mean, who wouldn't? And then you get Jamar Chase back from the bye week. So that's looking good. That's
Wow.
Yeah, and then also throwing in Joe Mixon at the flex. It's looking like a fancy, nice little tandem, just short of one other Bronco in Joe Burrow, or excuse me, one other Bengal in Joe Burrow. Too many
Hmm.
B's. Any thoughts in this matchup between Sebastian and Ivan? And I
Yeah,
saw your comments, Sebastian. The turtles are coming out. I don't know where they're going. They're going to be just like when the turtles are born on the island on the beach. They're going to get swooped up by everybody, all the animals and all the birds and the people. Like, oh, look at that turtle! I'm going to take it home, and they just and they crunch and they eat it. There's a chicken nugget. It's a turtle burger. That's what's going to happen to the turtles this year. But thanks for the comment. That always helps our algorithm. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do what you can. Share us around. That's what we always enjoy it. Give us the thumbs up. Joel Lioli coming at you. A good throwback to anyone. If
What up,
anyone remembers that one,
YouTube?
let me know in the comments.
What up?
Any thoughts on this game between Sebastian and Ivan?
Ivan's got Chase and Brown, and Allen, and Sebastian has Allen and Tyreek Hill. I mean, that's some nasty receivers
Oh
going
yeah.
at each other.
Oh my God. You talking here's a bunch of guys who know how to
Oh,
catch the football. I mean, what can I
wow.
tell you?
I mean, look at this guy. He can just outrun you. I mean,
Oh Jesus.
there'll be a fight.
Yeah.
I mean, as I say for every game, I feel like, but it's
But it is. It always is. It is literally always close. I don't understand.
yes, no one really rarely gets blown out.
No. Yeah, that's why exactly that. Sebastian having under 100 points last week is crazy. If I'm not mistaken, he's number one in the league in scoring. So that's also why it's like, whoa, what's going
Wow.
on? Yeah, I'm just short of him by 13 points on the year, 1,049 for Sebastian on total points on the year.
Especially it's the
But yeah,
most points than all of us, and he's 3-4.
yeah, that's fantasy, man. That's
Wow.
fucking fantasy for you. Final matchup. We got the Stinkers. We got the Gator. We got the 5-2, 4-3 matchup right here. Yeah, again with a doubtful Justin Fields, Jordan Love still on the board for Allen, rolling with Royce Freeman and Deontay Foreman as of now. Got another Bear, DJ Moore, but I mean reliable as all hell. Puka Nacua and Travis Kelce. Some solid. Allen's been just cooking on the waiver wire as of late. Been a
Yeah.
lot of acquisitions. And I mean, looking at it, there's no question mark. Probably just a report on Chris Olave. So again, this incident about the reckless driving. probably isn't going to affect him on the field. Probably just going to get a nice little chunk of change out of his pocket off the field. So there's that guy right there. Ooh, a little question mark next to Jalen Hurts. I'm going to have to pay attention to that in my other league. But, Jahmyr Gibbs, again, David Montgomery probably not going to be there again. So Jahmyr Gibbs going to get the Monday night start, I would think. Cooper Kupp is back. Jalen Waddle, as long as that back is good to go, is good to go. And, Jordan Addison with that little Monday night performance. I know it's maybe an outlier, that long touchdown. Even if you take that long touchdown away, he still has a pretty solid game. Looks like a pretty solid flex start at the very least, and that's exactly where Pete has him. So, anything interesting of note? Anything I didn't get to with this matchup?
Um, no, I mean they've got decent teams. It looks like I don't know if Allen's gonna make a move for quarterback, but he's got Jordan Love in cooking it up still, hopefully. And
Oh yeah, at least for you in the sense that you're a Packer guy.
I mean he hasn't been cooking it up at all, but hopefully the Packers can bounce back. We've got a good team. It's just a good matchup. They've close projections, and I'm sure this will be another good one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like always, good luck in the matchups, everybody. Do what you can. This will come out after we do the waiver wires, everything goes through, but I guess just do that correctly. I don't know.
And
Just plan.
PD's got Kareem Hunt already, and Jerome
Yeah.
Ford's out this week. So there you go, PD.
Brack, Petey.
You can start Hunty if you want.
Yeah, a couple people made some moves already. Little sneaky Sunday morning ad that I did in my brother's league. I only have one quarterback in Jalen Hurts. His bye week is week 10 or 11 or something like that. And I had a guy was basically hurt in Tutu Atwell or Tank Dell or whoever I dropped for him. It doesn't really matter. Was able to pick up Dak Prescott. And so I'm just going to stash Dak Prescott for a couple weeks. And as soon as Jalen Hurts is on a bye, I'll have the Dak Prescott CD Lamb hook for that week.
Wow.
So I think that's compared to the next best available quarterback off the top of my head would be like Baker Mayfield, Desmond Ridder, Kenny Pickett, and Jimmy Garoppolo, who's not even playing right now. So I think that was a solid move. Just something like that. Just always watch for your Sunday morning, those last little minute waiver wire acquisitions. Be on top of your waiver wires. Watch for buys and watch for those international games because it's not this week, week 8, but week 9 and week 10. Those Germany games, those international games are back. So wake up, get your alarm going, get your bets all rolling and rocking and rolling on that. There you go. Just doing a little PSA around the league, around the board. Any other final thoughts before we get back into some other quick stuff? I know we just got maybe just another quick check-in on the MLB, on the game, just on our quick thoughts on the Rangers going to the World Series, and then some quick wrestling. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's good. Sounds
Awesome.
great.
Checking in back on this game. If you want to, I mean, again, it'll be afterwards, so not really much. Can't check in afterward. Phillies are up 2-1 now, bottom of the 4th with one out, runners on first and third. So pretty interesting. Probably be wrapping this bad boy up most likely around the 7th or 8th inning. So probably most likely getting the tail end of that game. And exactly that. Who with the Rangers, they punched their ticket in last night, advancing past the Astros. They are now perfect 8-0 on the road in these playoffs. Any thoughts just on that matchup? Just maybe, again, my quick thoughts were just pretty cool that, water always finds its balance. Pretty boring first couple of rounds, and now 2 game 7s in these ALCS and NLCS. So just thought that was interesting to note. Any thoughts for you on the Rangers advancing, and then who do you want to see from these Diamondbacks and Phillies?
Yeah, these have been very good series. That Rangers game was good, was awesome.
If you had
I
the
mean,
under, I am sorry. That was a brutal way for that to go out, for just all those runs to be just surged so late in the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
but fuck the Astros.
Yeah, Garcia is I hate saying it, I hate getting on the trends like that, but Adolis Garcia is him. He's the fucking man right now. He just had five home runs in that series. He had 15 RBIs.
Wow.
Truly, he rightfully so the ALCS MVP for that series, and he'll be looking to try and make his way in the World Series on that.
And
Oh,
I
go ahead.
mean, I want Phillies, so hopefully Phillies win this game tonight and they advance, and that'll be a nice little series there. But I love Bryce Harper with our buddy Troy
Yep,
over there,
got a
and
soft spot for the Harper. Yeah, for
yeah, they
sure.
got They've got a good team with Schwarber and Castellanos, and I mean
I
Alec
think all
Bohm.
around, I mean, a lot of people just for viewing sake want to see Rangers and Phillies. The Phillies have a much better lineup from top to bottom, just more recognizable names, like
Yeah,
you just
more
said,
notable
in
players.
Scherzer, or excuse me, in Harper, Schwarber, not Nick Castellanos, Ranger. I mean, just Ranger Suarez, Aaron Nola, whatever. I'm even going a little deeper than that, but Trey Turner, much easier way than just for the Diamondbacks. It's uh Harrell, the rookie, and Ketel Marte, Zach Allen, and Merrill Kelly. If you're not really into that, sorry. I mean, that's basically that. So
Hmm.
it's a tough ask for the Diamondbacks. So, I mean, I wouldn't doubt that some people in Arizona are probably like, we have a professional baseball team. Like, it's a tough sports market out there. Any West squad, I would think, but
They made
definitely.
it this far.
I mean, they're playing on house money for sure. This is a very impressive thing for them. Win or lose tonight for the Diamondbacks, it's a very successful season. They should not be here. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but just on paper, they should not be here. They shouldn't have beat the Dodgers. Arguably, you probably say something, not you, but just some might say they shouldn't have beat the Brewers in the wild card series. They should not be here, but it is awesome that they are here. You always like those Cinderella stories. So
Oh yeah.
get the Phillies and the Rangers going in the World Series for the sake of, I think the script writers probably want that. The Fox is probably tapping on the ump's shoulders like, get the Phillies into the play, get in the World Series. We're not having, sorry, not having the World Series from Chase Field. Not happening, pal. But either way, there's that. Yeah. Overall, if it is either which way, if it's the Phillies, you have to probably lean towards the Phillies against the Rangers. I would just give that for the sake of, I like more arms on the Philly side of things. Most likely, what it comes down to is the pitching and the bullpen. They've been lights out. But if it's the Diamondbacks, then I'm probably leaning towards the Rangers because the lineup and their pitching is much better than the Diamondbacks. So
Yeah.
uh, it'll be fun either which way. Much more watchable and toward for me and the guy like myself, even that still stays engaged in the game and knows. But yeah, it would be better for the Rangers and Phillies to be the World Series matchup.
Yeah, be very fun to watch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let me see. Yeah, safe to say, it's been an exciting flip no matter what. Yeah, like I said, going from not a really competitive series or notable games to 2 Game 7 series. So once
Oh,
again,
for sure.
that was just one of the points I wanted to drive home for sure. And it's playoff baseball. Can't lose either which way. Can't really go wrong, especially when we got no skin in the game like we do over here. So that's about that. Yeah. Any final thoughts on the World Series? I know I'll be doing a final breakdown on Friday's show for the live show. So checking on that, we'll for sure know after today who's going to be the matchup in that first game. Is Friday night 7 o'clock? Uh, hmm. If it's I actually, it doesn't matter. I think it's the Rangers hosting no matter what. So yeah, so I think that might be the case. So from Arlington, we'll get game one in from Friday night. Either way, if you get on the MLB, we can wrap her up with some wrestling. How's that sound?
Why do I love Bryce?
Because he makes you money and it makes Alan take notes.
Hmm.
Thank you. Oh, and Troy, good luck against Allen in fantasy. I hope you cook him up.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
him up, please.
all the time. So let's see. Finally going in with some wrestling. Uh, some big things. Some interesting. Always some decent storylines. All the results I get into on Bad Karma Wrestling. So check that out on the Fridays right before I go live on twitch.tv. We got the bad or what is it? X Bomb Sports. Yeah.
Mm,
That's where I get this no gimmicks nickname from. So make
no
that
gimmick.
trend. Make that become a thing. I don't know. I'm not really one for nicknames. I don't
No
usually do
gimmick.
that, but hey, no gimmicks over here. Uh
No
the
gimmick.
big thing of note was Sting's retirement announcement. He gave it. We kind of knew it was somewhat on the table, but he gave the date. Said he debuted at Revolution and he will be having his last match at Revolution 2024. Uh, you know, he had a good run, and I'm glad he's going out on his own way out instead of an injury or just something catastrophic happening or something like that. So good for him. Go on the way out like you should. 60 something. Is he 58, 60 years old almost? He made mention to in his retirement speech, he probably shouldn't be doing some of the stuff he is, jumping off balconies and shit like that, but he's doing it
He's
anyways.
crazy.
He's absolutely out of his mind. He's been giving us quality matches, not top tier and 5-star from the Tokyo Dome matches, but for his age, for his abilities, what he's doing, for the tag team matches that he's provided for these past couple of years. I think Sting's been bringing in some pretty good matches for being his age compared to
Oh
other
yeah.
guys, other individuals who are trying to do similar things. So big disappointment again. Just don't want to see him out of action. Just it's like one more like that's right. It hurts right in the childhood. But again, glad to see that he's just taking the time and doing it the right way, going out the way that he wants to. Uh, Before you get thoughts on, you can give thoughts on that in general, overall thoughts, and just I'll throw out the question of who should his last match be against. Go ahead. What are your thoughts on Sting's retirement?
I mean, yeah, it's bittersweet because we love Sting, but he definitely deserves a good
Great way to put it.
retirement like this. So, I mean, Sting's been awesome. He's had great matches, and we've had the pleasure of seeing him live a bunch of times with AEW on regular Dynamites and pay-per-views. So he's never disappointed once. I don't think he's ever botched anything. I've never been like, damn, Sting fucked that up. But
To be fair, it was that Sammy Guevara spot not
that's
too long
what I
ago, but
just thought.
that wasn't necessarily. It could be his fault. He just didn't time Sammy coming down so fast. I mean,
But
who
still, he got
how
fucked.
fast you got to dodge a 630? That's pretty fucking hard, man.
Yeah, I mean, asking a lot for Sting to move that quick,
Yeah, yeah,
but
exactly. That's just science.
he just took it like a champ, and so fucking Sting is awesome. And his last match should be against Darby.
Yeah, in some sort of way like that. Just maybe
A
doesn't need
passing
to
of
get.
the torch or
Yeah,
something, not like
exactly.
in a heel way, but where like a respectful, like my last match should be against you.
Yeah, I think that should be the good route to go on. It if not, some sort of tag team match will probably solidify it going like that. I'm not opposed to the way that they little smoke and mirrors they're able to get around
Well, man, 'cause then
Sting's limit abilities.
if
If
Darby can beat Sting in a one-on-one match like that, that would elevate him so much.
Yeah,
And
yes, it
to be
absolutely would.
Sting's retirement,
Yeah.
it's like yeah, that would be a very good push for Darby.
More on Darby in just a second, but my quickly my everyone's gonna have their how they got introduced to Sting, their phase of Sting because he's been around since the '80s. So again, everyone's gonna like I knew Beach Surfer Sting or I had WCW Crow Sting. For me, again, as unpopular as it might be,
Okay,
my Sting came from TNA. So watching him go up against Abyss, AJ Styles, later on Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle, Christian Cage, those were the matches I got, and I was more than okay that was prime Sting for me. Would I love to have seen him in WWE at the time? Yeah, well, who cares? Everyone would have, but for the Sting that I was able to observe as a child and still later on as an adult, as a right now, I like the Sting that I got. So we didn't get all of the stinger, maybe not even prime stinger for some. Is like, back in my day, he was back. Him against Ric Flair was the best. I'm like, sure, yeah, I'm sure that probably was pretty awesome. Bash at the Beach, 94 or whatever it was. But at all points in time, every phase of Sting, you got great Sting. So one of the best careers and a hell of a way to go out. So tip of the cap, cannot wait. I'm sure grown men will be crying at that Revolution, and rightfully so. So
Yeah.
there you have it. That's going to be that. A transition into his partner, Darby Allin. Boy, is he a dumbass. I don't know. I know you saw, we shared it amongst our group chat, but who maybe did not see, he had a Nitro Circus appearance. He did a backflip and landed solely on his busted shoulder that he basically admitted might be completely shattered. He doesn't know, probably doesn't check in, but whatever. I just got the internet going. Got him just between people like saying, hey, someone's got to step in and save him from himself. Or they're just straight up like, why is TK paying this man to continue to hurt himself outside of the ring? And I can see it from both ends. I'm on that side of like, hey, man, I get you're a thrill seeker and you got to go skydive and you were Mount Everest climbing practice the day beforehand. But
yeah, my shoulder, I'm getting ready to climb Mount Everest, but you guys were in town, so I had to try this.
reel it the fuck in, bro. I'm sorry. If you're going to do the wrestling thing and be a wrestler, you should probably, I'm not going to be the one to tells who does what, but if I'm from looking through the wrestling lens, pull it back a little, man. You're screwing yourself over in that way. You're going to get hurt either which way, I guess, as violent as he throws himself in the wrestling ring. But it's crazy. It doesn't scream of desperate ability, but it's a little, it's close. It's close of like, hey, look at me constantly. I don't know. And then you got a face tattoo now. Everyone's comparing it. Which one's worse, Cody's neck tattoo or Darby's face tattoo? Any face tattoo is going to trump any other tattoo anywhere on the body. So, yeah. At least he does it on the side that he paints his face already.
I mean, now, Darby, you better hope you can wrestle because you're not going to get a job in other places with a face tattoo.
I wouldn't doubt Darby Allin. And if he, there's a multiverse where Darby Allin is working at a Starbucks in Seattle or somewhere or something like that. Or he's just got his face tattooed and all painted. He's jumping off, coffin diving, coffin dropping onto the customers. You want latte? You want a soy latte?
You fell.
I just want my cake pop, dude. Stop doing that. Stop getting your face paint on me.
So do you.
There we are. So yeah, Darby, chill out, dude.
Yeah, relax.
From no substitute for sports to you, chill the fuck out. Last two things really quick. We got Impact turning back into TNA. Thoughts on that? I'm excited.
It's awesome.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's what everyone truly knows them as. So
yes,
it will just get more fans back, I feel like, and they have I don't know, they have a good roster. I see them talking shit. I see
Bound
Will
for
Ospreay.
Glory was a success for them in every which way. Then they had the other show on. It's still in Chicago at the Cicero Stadium. So
I saw something because Will Ospreay was talking about how good of a roster that they have.
He's considering it,
and he's considering them in WWE and all options. But I just saw a post yesterday. It's like if CM Punk and Will Ospreay got signed to TNA, would that be enough for you to watch TNA? And I was like, it just might be.
Yeah.
If they and obviously that's probably not going to happen for them to get both of them, if that even not possible.
I don't think they get either, to be fair.
Right. I mean,
but like I said, I did see the report from Meltzer that Will Ospreay is considering WWE, and he should definitely consider WWE. Like, they're going to probably throw the most money at him. If he wants the most exposure and money, WWE. If he wants the most quality matches and probably one of the better rosters and people to be around, AEW. If he wants to be big fish in a small pond and be top dog no matter what, he would literally have no competition in terms of that, TNA. You're not going to get paid the most there, but those are probably how, at least in my mind, if I'm Will Ospreay, that's how I'm viewing everyone right now. And
Yeah.
then NWA that is there.
No.
They just got
Yeah.
signed by the CW, but
Not
yeah,
going there.
definitely. And Will Ospreay versus Trevor Murdoch is not going to move the needle. Sorry, pal. EC3 versus Will Ospreay. Not
Everyone
yet,
can't
pal.
wait for that.
I can't wait. It's that Shaq meme when he's sleeping and he's still sleeping after the announcement. It's that.
Yeah.
Only thing left with Impact turning back into TNA. Give us our 6 sides back. That's what we want.
I
I know
don't
you
know.
don't. I want it back for the aesthetic and the nostalgia, but I understand none of the wrestlers really like a 6-sided ring. Confusing and hurts.
AJ Styles said he liked it because it
Yeah.
made them different.
Yeah, hell yeah. And he's
That's
AJ
what matters.
Styles. He's the
Yeah,
fucking man.
he's awesome.
Yeah. Finally, again, this is just the very last thing and just really quick and we'll wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah.
Just interesting to see the Royal Rumble layout for the Tropicana Field. Tickets went on sale. It's a pretty cool little layout, as you can see right behind Mike. It looks like the stage would most likely be the home dugout, if I'm not mistaken. It'll come out right there, similar to we were also mentioning off air. I think they did at the Astros at the Astros field. I'm not
Yeah.
Minute Maid Park. They had a Royal Rumble there or something like that. And it was very
SummerSlam,
similar.
Royal Rumble, one of those.
Yeah, they had a very similar setup where they came out from the dugout, stage is all right there, get as many people in there as possible, and they're gonna get a fuck ton. It looks like so between the 300 section, you're gonna get a bunch of suites open that I would think not the entire, but if you can close in and see, probably from like 130 section 136, all from like the first base line behind home plate and the third base line, all those seats would probably be open, and then all that stuff on the floor. So that was looking like a lot of people, looking like a lot of nice
Yeah.
show. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Pretty cool experience, definitely being there in general. I might I guess bigger show out for a Royal Rumble than it would be for a for a Tampa Bay Rays game, but that's how it should be. Any thoughts on that in general? I know there's one other thing in WWE that I would get to. Any thoughts on this layout?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to fill a stadium this big is always for wrestling. It's awesome to see.
Oh yeah. And then final thing I saw, just talking about it, Chicago Survivor Series, they added another big section to the All-State Arena. Again, more people on the idea that CM Punk is going to be there. I think Randy Orton might just be returning, but that's just me.
They opened up the whole All-State Arena.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, so I think it's open for like 24,000, but it's now it's ready the whole arena, but with the setup, it would only be actually good to go for like just short of 17,000, and that's pretty fucking cool. That's a lot of fucking people. So
I'll be interested to see what they do with the entrance, because they said they're going to change it so the people in the back, those seats don't have limited viewing.
Oh, that's cool.
They said the tickets aren't marked for limited viewing, so maybe they're going to limit down the entrance.
Probably shorten the height of it. So again, exactly that. They'll be able to see the clearing over it, and there's not as many like speakers and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, for anyone that I haven't been to an All-State show in a while, but that's how it used to be to close off.
It's just cool because I was like, why would I get tickets back there? I'm just going to be blocked by the Titantron and everything. I was like, why would you get seats there? But it's cool that, I mean, there must be something big planned.
They're gearing up for something big. But I mean, I've seen the reports of CM Punk news has halted, but of course he was around in Impact, just walking around getting interest. But there's that. And I've also seen a report. I kind of forgot who it was, so I can't say for sure that it's completely like done, but CM Punk essentially went to WWE and Triple H and Vince McMahon declined it, declined making an offer or anything like that. But it's still it's kind of all over the place right now. And I just saw another report. I'll be getting to this on Bad Karma Wrestling, getting David Dykstra's point of view as well. What this whole Endeavor merger, according to Fightful Select, I don't want to butcher this. I'll get it exactly how I have it in my notes. From Fightful Select, numerous WWE talent, including several top stars, have not been approached for contract extensions. Multiple talent spoken to were of the belief that recent merger with Endeavor would kickstart a lot of contract talks, and several are awaiting to see what the offers are like when that happens, but it hasn't happened yet. Again, from Fightful Select, which I just saw a little bit right before we went live on this. So I don't know. It's, CM Punk talk has gone completely dry again. The whole like, oh, is he going to Impact? I would bring it back a little bit in the sense that, like, they were literally just here in Chicago. Probably has a couple friends in the locker room and knows a couple people. So yeah, cool to see them either which way, and that's fine. And I'm not, man. Booker T is going out of the way and said a lot about CM Punk, so that drives in one direction. So already he would be kind of starting problems from the get-go, kind of starting issues. So it's hard to say that CM Punk is going to go there, and at least to me. And you already got other reports that a lot of other top stars aren't too keen on the idea of that happening either. And with that report again, if they're not in talks with a contract extension already, and here comes CM Punk, a guy that they don't like, see you later. Probably won't sign an extension, knowing what their future might entail. So if CM Punk goes to WWE, that can still shake up other talent to want to go somewhere else, which again, I don't even know. I don't know what to make of it. So make your money, do what you got to do, make it wrestling as interesting as possible. But yeah, I don't know. Any other final thoughts on wrestling? Any other final news, notes, anything you want to get to? Otherwise, we can wrap her up. Check, please, and get her going. Yeah, anything.
Yeah, I think I'm all good, man.
Coolio. As always, this was another fun episode. Got a lot
Oh
in today.
yeah.
I talked about a fuck ton as usual. Join us back next week, as you always do. Like, subscribe, share us around. Join me on Friday, twitch.tv/SportsTownShy. Again, no substitute for sports live, getting anything we didn't get to here. Breaking down. Yeah, I'll probably be doing my usual, breaking down this week's games, talking about the World Series, maybe a little bit of basketball if the Bulls are doing anything of note in this opening week of games. And then, yeah, just more sports, fantasy, gambling talk, everything, every which way. Thank you, Mike, as always, for joining me. Always a big
Yes,
part.
sir.
I love it that you always want to come by and help out. Also, me helping out on my other project when you're talking some fantasy football documentaries. So if anyone wants to help out, hit me up. Let me see any of the final things you got to plug away. XBomb Sports, like, subscribe, follow it on YouTube and Facebook. We're doing other stuff
Plug
for
it.
Bad Karma. There you go, Bad Karma Wrestling. And if that's it, that's all. Again, thank you, everybody. Alan, thank you for taking your notes. Troy, always thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing us around, getting interaction. We'll maybe talk some more Kentucky next week. And everybody else, thank you very much. Enjoy your night. Enjoy the fantasy. Enjoy your gambling. Enjoy everything else. Good luck to everybody and everybody. We'll see you. Bye-bye.